Luka Doncic finally broke his silence. And what he said? It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was absolutely devastating. Because for the first time, Luka sat down, face to face with Malika Andrews, and laid everything bare. The drama with the Mavericks, the behind-the-scenes betrayal, the loyalty that was thrown back in his face. It's the kind of interview that doesn't just give you answers, it opens up way more questions. So what really happened between Luka and Dallas? Why did the front office turn on him? And where does that leave Luka now? Stick around, because what you're about to hear changes everything. When Luka Doncic sat across from Malika Andrews, there was no yelling, no shade, no clickbait quotes, just a calm, heavy truth that hit like a truck. Malika didn't hold back. She brought up the criticism, on the court, off the court, even about Luka's body. And Luka? He didn't dodge it. He said, "It's painful. Depends how you take it." Then came the first dagger. Mostly it came from Dallas. Let that sink in. The team he gave everything to, his body, his prime, his loyalty, was the one leading the criticism parade on his way out. And Luka? He chose not to fire back. "I just didn't want to talk back. I don't really read that much stuff. I just try to focus on my journey. Quiet, poised." But underneath that calm delivery was something louder than words. Disappointment. Let's talk about Nico Harrison. The Mavericks GM held a closed-door, no-cameras meeting with reporters after the trade. And he made it clear. He didn't believe Luka's version of the team could win. Straight up, he said, "Defense wins championships." Translation? Luka's not a championship leader, not in his eyes. Now think about that. This was the guy who watched Luka carry a dysfunctional team to the Western Conference Finals, who saw him drop historic numbers on the biggest playoff stages. And now he's saying Luka can't win? Luka didn't throw fire back. He didn't attack. He just called it what it was. Sad. Sad that someone he never disrespected would go public like that. Sad that the people he trusted turned around and acted like he was the problem. But it gets colder. When Malika asked if Luka had spoken to Nico since the trade, he didn't hesitate. No, not the night of the trade. Not the days after, not once. The Mavericks didn't even pick up the phone. No goodbye. No thank you. No conversation. This is your franchise player, your centerpiece for the future, and you ghost him? It says everything. Luka was never supposed to leave Dallas. That's what hurts most. When Malika asked if he planned to finish his career in Dallas, he didn't even pause. Of course, it's an easy question, but here's where it gets deeper. Because Luka says loyalty is still one of his core values. He still believes in it, it just doesn't live in Dallas anymore. Where does it live now? Simple. In the game. Loyalty is to the basketball first, Luka said. Let that line breathe. It's not just a quote, it's a philosophy. Luka's done tying himself to franchises that don't have his back. He's loyal to the grind, to the work, to the art of the game itself. And yes, to the Lakers. He confirmed it. He wants to stay in Los Angeles. For the first time in a long time, he feels respected. Not just by the fans, but by the organization. And even though Dallas left a bad taste, Luka didn't burn it all down. He made sure to shout out the fans and his former teammates. "I always keep it hard." That phrase says a lot. Because despite everything, the shade, the criticism, the silence from the front office, he kept it pure. He gave them everything. And in return, he got pushed out. So what really happened? Behind the scenes, the crack started long before the trade. Sources close to the team described growing tension between Luka and the front office. Not because Luka was demanding, but because he was ignored. Roster changes were made without his input. Coaches came and went, and somewhere along the way, the Mavericks decided he wasn't the guy they wanted to build around. They didn't tell him, they just moved on. And when the trade finally came, there was no farewell tour, no statement, just silence. But here's what they didn't expect. Luka didn't spiral. He didn't rant on social media. He went to work. Now he's in Los Angeles, playing his heart out. Focused, locked in, and every time he steps on the court, he's writing a new story. One without the Mavericks, one without the noise. And that brings us to now. Because Luka Doncic isn't just playing better, he's playing freer. The weight's off his shoulders. The politics are behind him. And for the first time in years, he looks happy. So maybe this wasn't just a trade. Maybe it was a reset. A warning to every front office that forgets who made them relevant. Luka never needed drama. He never needed to clap back. All he needed was a mic, and Malika handed it to him. He didn't yell. He didn't whine. He just told the truth. And the silence around it? That was louder than anything else. If you think Luka's done talking, think again. Because the next time he faces Dallas on the court, he'll let his game do the talking, and that's the kind of loyalty you can't trade away.